Sonic Colors, man, what a great game. And honestly, I had kind of forgotten how amazing this game is, man. I've heard so many comments on it just being the little brother to Generations and Unleashed, or it's just straight up mediocre. But then I replayed the game and had some of the most fun I've had with any Sonic game. It was just a blast to go through again. And here's the thing, I really love this game, but it's not for the same reasons that I love Generations and Unleashed. It has a little bit of a different philosophy when it comes to the boost formula. In that way, it's very similar to Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, a game that I find really fun, but it's just a different take on the Riders formula. It's not bad, it's just different. And if you don't like the different approach that it's going for, then, well, you're not gonna like Zero Gravity. And it's the same with Colors. Colors makes some tweaks to the boost formula, and if you don't like those types of tweaks, then you're probably not gonna like this game. But to me, I really love all of the changes made to the formula, and I really think that this is the perfect boost formula. I really think they figured it out here, so I'm not gonna yap on any longer. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. So first things first, something that is extremely important when it comes to Sonic games is control. How does it feel to just move Sonic around? And this game nails it. This is by far the snappiest and sharpest a boost game has ever felt. Like, look at this. I'm just able to turn in a circle just fine. Now, of course, your ability to turn becomes less and less as you get faster, but that's just natural. When you're going faster, you're basically just going to be on a straightaway, or if you actually need to turn when going fast, the game gives you drift sections to do that for you, so you're chilling. This game also features a double jump, which is crazy fun to use. If you're in a 2D section and you're holding right, you're just going to the right, and you jump, but then you switch your stick to the left and then press the jump button again for the double jump, you completely switch your direction. The double jump doesn't just give you more height, it also completely makes a new jump arc. It truly is a double jump. There's never a time where this is really required, but it's still cool having it at your disposal. So of course, I've talked about Sonic's moveset, but I haven't talked about his defining feature in this type of game, which is of course the boost. But the boost is now, of course, the white wisps, so let's talk about the wisps. What I find so interesting about the wisps is that they're not traditional power-ups. It's not like Sonic but he's faster, or Sonic but he can jump higher, or Sonic but he's invincible. No, it's none of that. It's and honestly, they're really fun, and they're used in such creative ways here. I love how most of the time, instead of traditional platforming, the multiple paths in these stages are just accessed by clever wisp usage, which is just super cool, and they were really well integrated into this game. Now, of course, that's all the other wisps, so let's talk about the boost. The boost in this game is low-key kind of fire. It's such an interesting way to make a boost. Instead of it being like the other games where basically you will never run out of boost unless you play badly, in this game, yeah, you're not gonna be like 0 boost 90% of the stage. You'll have boost most of the time, but there are many cases where you can just genuinely completely run out of boost, which I think is kind of cool. I mean, yeah, it makes you go slower, but it kind of adds this interesting layer of when should I use the boost? Just because I'm in a small straightaway doesn't mean I should hold down the boost button. There are times where the boost could be more profitable. So a lot of times it's not about boosting every second you can, it's a lot of times more so about using it when it's necessary. Now, of course, that's more of a thing you'll notice on replays. On your first playthrough, you're basically just gonna boost whenever you can, because that's faster. Because, of course, any Sonic game, our main objective is to dash like a maniac. And say what you will about this port, Colors Ultimate did a really good job of adding a unique mechanic to the boost, and that is the perfect homing attack. While I think this homing attack is way too easy, they should have made the timing a lot harder. The idea of being able to get just a little boost, just a little bit of boost from enemies is super cool. It makes it where you won't have a ton of boost, but you'll have just enough boost to help you through little slow sections so that the pace is brought up a little more. You still have to conserve your boost like I've been saying, but if you do run out and you see a line of enemies, no worries, because you're able to get just enough boost to be able to boost through the rest of the enemies. So while Colors Ultimate is Colors Ultimate, this is still a good addition, so I just thought I'd bring it up. So it's time to complete the trio of Sonic game essentials. You've got how does he control, what is the gimmick of the game, and the level design. Yay! And it just so happens that most of the level design is pretty darn fire. Yes, I know some of these levels are boring 2D puzzle platformer stages, but honestly, I don't hate most of these. And hey, I even kinda like this thing. Now before you kill me for saying this, it's not great or anything. It's not ideal. I wish they would have done something that's a little more interesting, but I don't mind this. People act like you just sit on the spring and do nothing. No, the whole point is to try and get off the spring as much as you can. They really just aren't that bad. They really aren't offensively bad. They're just alright. I can't really be too upset about it. And the reason I don't really mind these stages that much is because of how the ranking system works in this game. So in Colors, the ranking system is heavily based on exploration, which is very unlike other Sonic ranking systems, because in a lot of other Sonic games, it's about getting a fast time while getting high score. It's about like mastery of the level, but let me be so honest, most of the time I don't feel very satisfied by this type of thing. Now that's a topic for a completely other video, and I understand why those ranking systems are done like that, but I just have an appreciation for the fact that this ranking system is basically all about exploration, and that is what the red rings are for. Now a lot of these red rings are placed in pretty obvious spots. They're not really hard to find, but that's not a bad thing. There should be a couple on the main path, but here's the fun part. A lot of times you'll see a red ring, but you can't get to it. So you gotta figure out, well, how do I get over there? And that is the fun part. The amount of exploration that this game promotes is kind of insane. Like, I know it's not a big deal, but I don't know, man, my face just lit up when I found out that there was this path in Sweet Mountain that just lets you take the Wisp here and bam! You skipped the opening section, now it's way quicker, and the game so encourages you to do this kind of thing. And I know people say, oh, you just gotta spam the Wisps. Well, duh. The reason that you're promoted for using the Wisps is because that means that you're probably exploring. If you're just cheesing the Wisps, well, that's no fun. That's your own fault, I'm gonna be so honest with you. If you choose to just cheese it and not actually explore, then, I mean, I just think you're giving yourself a less fun time. I don't see how that's smart. So I don't see an issue in most of the rank being based on your score from Wisp bonuses. So I don't know, man, it's super satisfying to get those S ranks, and you can see that even in these boring stages, because like I've been mentioning, there are the red rings. So you gotta go through this stage, make sure you don't fall, and get all the red rings. Make sure you get all the rings because you get a big bonus for rings. Huge bonus for rings. Go for rings. So there you go. What did the game just promote? The game promoted exploration and not taking damage and losing all your rings. Look at that. Boom! That dude. It's so fun, man. It's just so fun to me. I mean, if you don't like this ranking system, that's completely fine. And here's the thing. If you disagree, that's honestly great, because I would love to hear your reasoning as to why you don't like it. I really don't understand why people wouldn't like it, because it's just been so much fun to me. I never can say that I didn't like the ranking system. It's never really felt unfair or dumb. It just felt smart and intelligent and actually wanted me to explore the level and not just cheese it or just boost through everything. So seriously, I invite you to write a comment. If you disagree with me, please let me know why, because I would just genuinely like to know, because this stuff is so interesting to me. Before I move on to anything else, I do want to comment on the bosses. Honestly, I don't really mind most of these. They're not really great, but they still are pretty fun. Yes, I know they're just copy and pasted with more harder variants, but still, the harder variants are actually more challenging, and they're fun to go against. So honestly, I can't even hate on it. These bosses are pretty fun for what they are. So now it's time for some of my favorite parts of this game. The environments and the music. I'm sure you've heard people say it. People praise this game up and down for its environment, and I'm here to do the same. All of these environments feel so original and just interesting. Like, every stage, man, it just looks incredible. I will have to say, Sweet Mountain and Planet Wisp are definitely my favorites from this game. These stages are sick. All the others are great too, but those two stick out to me in particular. The music is, of course, as always, absolutely incredible. This soundtrack is banger to banger to banger, man. You got Tropical Resort, a fun song that's just a good opening to the game. It really is such an iconic intro stage theme. I love the synth usage here. It really is, it encapsulates the theme really well. You've got Sweet Mountain with its funky samples and goated guitar solos. Personally, Act 2 is my favorite. This one slaps. Starlight Carnival is also a fun one. I love the really full synths. They just slam you in the face. This song has such a powerful, fun energy. It's not just lighthearted, it's like it really slaps you in the face, kind of happy. It's such a weird theme, but man, do I love it. Planet Wisp. Man, I'm sure you've heard it before, but these songs are beautiful, man. But there's also lots of electronic elements to really push that this is, yes, a beautiful planet, but it's being taken over by Eggman. Now, of course, Act 1 is the best song for Planet Wisp, bar to none, so I love the other songs, but this one is just top-notch. Aquarium Park. Now, I will say, I like this one, but this is probably my least favorite. I don't know, man, I really like these songs, but they're just not quite there yet. These are like the only like mid tracks in this game, honestly. But even though Aquarium Park isn't my favorite, I tell you, Asteroid Coaster brings it back with some rock bangers. All of them slap. All 3 acts. I can't pick which one I like the most. They are all goated. Oh my gosh. And don't even get me started on Terminal Velocity. What do I even need to say, man? You're listening to it. I'm gonna let the song speak for itself. So the final thing to talk about is this game's story. I mean, it exists. I don't really hate it. You know, I'm, Baldy McNosehair. Yeah, I don't really care. It's not really that bad. I'm sorry. Like, man, I don't know why people hate this game's story that much. It has a great premise, and really most of the cutscenes aren't that bad. A, because they're super short, and then B, they're just alright. I mean, people act like the Baldy McNosehair line, like that line, I'm sorry, like, I don't know why people act like that gave them trauma. It's not that bad. It's just kind of a corny joke. That's kind of it. It's just not good writing. It's not like it's offensively bad. It's just alright. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that they didn't focus on story that much, because they got to make an absolutely banger game that's super fun. Yeah, the part that they missed in the other games with goated stories. Oh my goodness. Man, I just gotta bring this up because, dude, I love Black Knight, man, but people be overhyping the story a little too much. This is one of my favorite Sonic stories, and it's probably my favorite characterization of Sonic, but dude, the story doesn't make the game, and even in that video, I didn't talk about the story that much. I praised it, but I didn't talk about it that long because I was there to talk about the gameplay, because I thought the game was fun to play. And it's the same with this game. Although I don't really love the story, the game is fun, and that's what matters. So really, that's Sonic Colors. It's a super fun game that is admittedly a little short, has some rough spots, and it's not 10 out of 10 throughout the whole thing. It has its low points, but the game is just fun the whole time. I mean, I just loved replaying this game. I didn't have any parts that I was like, I hate this game. It didn't really have that part. So really, this game is just outstanding at best, and alright at worst. So I love Sonic Colors, and I hope that this video is maybe giving you an understanding of why I like Colors, or maybe giving you a chance to replay Colors, because if you haven't replayed Colors in a minute, please do, because this game slaps. So play a fun game is what I'm basically asking you to do. It's not really a big ask. So, of course, I'm not going to talk on any longer. I hope all of you have a great day. God bless.